In today's video, we're going to be talking about signs you have relationship anxiety and how to navigate and manage this anxiousness. Now, if you have a more anxious or fearful attachment style, this might resonate with you more, where you're constantly presenting activating strategies to get your needs met. So what this can look like is number one, constantly feeling the need to call them or text them. And it's not just you're on your phone all day calling and texting them, but when it's periods of times where you don't hear from them, you feel as if they're losing interest in you. And so constantly being in connection to them is reassuring for you that they still love you. So if you find yourself constantly feeling anxious whenever they don't text back right away, or you just kind of sit there in a state of anxiousness and you just kind of wait for them to text you to the point where you're neglecting your work and your day-to-day activities. Because you're looking for that reassurance that it's safe, maybe you're checking on their status, their social media, you're looking at their location, and you're trying to get ahead and figure out what they're doing so you can kind of prepare yourself for the worst case scenario. You end up catastrophizing and thinking about what can go wrong. Maybe they're talking to someone else, another girl, maybe they're cheating on you, they're losing interest. And all of this overthinking and worrying is going to end up becoming a domino effect, which leads to either one, what I call the state of anxious paralysis, where that anxiousness is just stuck in your body, you're not really doing anything about it, you're trying to distract yourself, you end up neglecting your work and your to-do list, and your goals are not sustainable. Or number two, you end up projecting that relationship anxiety. So you get upset or mad at them for not texting you right away, you question them what they're doing, maybe you start to interrogate or test them, all in the purpose of hoping that they will reassure you. But if you notice, this is quite counterproductive, because when you start attacking and projecting your anxiousness, most likely the other person will feel the need to defend themselves. Maybe they start shutting down, maybe they get defensive or yell at you back, and not only are you not feeling reassured, but now you're also feeling hurt by the way they reacted to you. And this is where a lot of miscommunication happens in a relationship, because we think we're communicating vulnerably, when in reality we're playing these mind games and trying to hint at the other person to act a certain way instead of being upfront with them. Another sign of relationship anxiety is constantly replaying the conversations you had with your partner over and over again in your mind to see if you can catch anything. Maybe you're also constantly reading through text to see if they still love you, or you're looking to see if you said anything wrong. And all of these actions is being fueled by that fear of abandonment, because that's what it really is. And if you're wondering, where did this even come from? If you don't have a healthy relationship with love and you think it's going to disappear just because it's not in front of you, or that you learned that love is chaotic, unsafe, unpredictable, then no wonder you keep self-sabotaging, right? But this doesn't have to be the end-all be-all. We want to make sure we change the way that we're perceiving love so we're not constantly associating it to pain. And what I noticed working with my clients with relationship anxiety is that there's two ways that this forms. Either one, your parents were constantly giving you love and affection, but you never learned to self-soothe. So maybe they were constantly there for you, they had a codependent relationship with you, they did everything with you, which in turn made you feel like you can never be independent, or you couldn't do things yourself, you couldn't feel safe yourself because there was always someone there. And it's not a bad thing that your parents were there for you. However, it's important for us to learn how to self-soothe as well so that we can be self-sufficient. Truth is, it's not possible for someone to be available 24/7 all the time. Sometimes work happens, life happens, and what happens when they're not there? We want to make sure we're okay being alone, feeling comfortable being alone, feeling safe that they're gonna come back, and that it's not the end of the world. And so if this is resonating with you, what we want to focus on first is learning how to self-soothe for ourselves. Yes, it's not our fault that we grew up like this. However, it is our responsibility to show up and grow and heal from this if you want to create healthier relationships for yourself. Another common reason I notice relationship anxiety develops is because you grew up in a chaotic household where love was given to you one day but then taken away from you the next. Growing up, your parents' behaviors might have been unpredictable. Whether it's they would have outbursts and then the next day pretend that nothing happened, or they abused drugs or alcohol, or they were in a toxic relationship themselves, so there was constantly unpredictable behavior going on, which in turn made you feel like you had to constantly walk around eggshells, making sure that you don't take the wrong step and set them off. And so you learned you can't truly trust the other person to be there for you all the time, and that love is supposed to be chaotic, unstable, and up and down. And because you've associated love with such instability, you are constantly looking for that reassurance to feel that stability. And so if this is resonating with you, what we want to do is learn how to fulfill our needs so we create that stability within ourselves, and also work on creating that trust. Trusting in our partner's patterns and character, which means who they are when no one else is watching. So just because you're not physically next to them or in connection with them all the time doesn't mean that they're betraying you right away. But remember, you're definitely not alone, and I know how emotionally turbulent having relationship anxiety is, so if you want to work on this more one-on-one and in-depth, you can book a call using the link in my description below, and also check out my other video on relationship anxiety and catastrophizing here. I hope this helps. I'll see you next Saturday for next week's video, and comment down below if any of these signs resonated with you. Like, subscribe, and as always, you got this.